Yo, hello there, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back my fellow pixelators, and welcome back to another Minecraft pixelator build on Tobi from Naruto Shippuden. As you can see in today's part, we've finally been moving on a bit to the mask, and finishing off the rest of the clothing on the left hand side over here. So without further ado, once again for today's blocks, we're going to be using our black concrete and gold block as per usual. For today's area that we're going to go off, we're going to be flying all the way up to the left hand side, to the one black concrete sticking out to the right over here. With that being said, once again before I fly over to that area, make sure to go and hit that like button if you haven't done that already. It'd be much appreciated, and it shows the support that you're enjoying the build so far. And also, if you're new to the channel and you find yourself coming back often, then make sure to go and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. With that being said, flying over to this one black concrete sticking out to the right, and there we go. Once you have flown over towards this one black concrete sticking out to the right here, we're then going to take out our black concrete and we're going to do a right diagonal from here. And there you go. Once you've done this one right diagonal right here, we're then going to place 3 going to the right. So 1, 2 and 3. And there you go. Once you place this 3 going to the right here, we're then going to do another right diagonal from here, just like so. And then once you've done this, we're then going to place 13 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. And there you go. Once you place this 13 going to the right here, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And there we go. As you can see, it should be looking like that right there. Once you've done this bottom right diagonal right here, we're then going to place 6 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, just like so. Once you place the 6 going to the right, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place 2 going to the right from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place this 2 going to the right, we're then going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place another 2 going to the right from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place this 2 going to the right, we're then going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this one bottom right diagonal right here, we're then going to place 1 going to the right. And there you go. Once you place this 1 going to the right here, we're then going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this one bottom right diagonal right here, we're then going to place 4 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And there you go. Once you place this 4 going to the right here, we're then going to place 1 on top. Once you place this 1 on top, we're then going to float underneath by 1. So back down to this bottom right corner. And we're then going to place 1 going to the right from here. And there we go. Once you place this 1 going to the right here, we're then going to place 3 going underneath from here. So 1, 2 and 3, just like so. Once you place this 3 going underneath, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And there you go. Once you've done this one bottom right diagonal here, we're then going to fly in the up left diagonal direction by 1. So back down to the third one we placed underneath, where we just did the bottom right diagonal from. And once we've flown back to here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete and going to our left. Once you place this 1 going to our left, we're then going to place 1 going underneath. Once you place this 1 going underneath, we're then going to fly back up by 1. So back up to this up left corner. And we're then going to place 2 on top of here. So 1 and 2. And there you go. Once you place that 2 on top, as you can see, we should connect underneath this 1 that we placed going to the right first here, and did all these areas. Once we have done this though, we are now going to zoom out. And for our area that we're going to go off right here, we're going to fly to the one black concrete that's sticking underneath. So to this one right here. So not the bottom right diagonal, the one just sticking underneath. Once you have flown to this one black concrete sticking underneath right here, we're then going to place another 11 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. And there you go. Once you place 11 going underneath right here, we're then going to do one bottom right diagonal from here. And there you go. As you can see, that one bottom right diagonal we did right there should connect on top of this one black concrete that was sticking up right here. And if it does, that means we've done everything correctly so far right here. So we're now going to zoom out. And as you can see, we should be looking like this so far. So that's the left side of the clothing complete. But once we've done this, for our next area that we're going to go off, we're going to fly all the way over to the one black concrete that's sticking up on top right here. So we're going to do the outer line for everything so far, and then we'll kind of move on to the mask last, because the mask is a bit weird because there's no real joining parts to the mask that all connect. It all goes to the center, so it's a lot easier if we do the outside first, and then we do the mask pieces that make the curl. So with that being said, we're going to fly to the one black concrete sticking up right here, so flying all the way over towards here. Once you have flown to this one black concrete sticking up right here, we're then going to place another 7 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, just like so. Once you place the 7 on top right here, we're then going to do an upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this one upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place 10 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And there you go. Once you place this 10 on top, we're then going to do a right diagonal from here, just like so. Once you've done this one upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place 4 on top of here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. Once you place this 4 going up right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right, just like so. Once you place this 1 going to the right, we're then going to place 2 on top, so 1 and 2. Once you place this 2 on top right here, we're then going to do an upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this one upright diagonal, we're then going to fly down in a bottom left diagonal direction by 1. So back to the second black concrete that we placed on top right here, where we did the upright diagonal from. And once you've flown back to this point right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the left, just like so. Once you place this 1 going to the left, we're then going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to fly underneath by 1, so back down to the bottom left corner. And then we're going to place 1 underneath. And there you go. As you can see, we should be looking like this so far. Once we've done this, for our next area that we're going to go off out of these 2 points right here, we're going to fly to the upright diagonal first, and we're going to go off this area right here first. So flying to the upright diagonal. Once you have flown to the upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 black concrete on top of here. And there we go. Once you place this 1 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right. And then once you place this 1 black concrete going to the right here, we're then going to place 1 going underneath, just like so. Once you place this 1 going underneath, we're then going to fly back up by 1, so back up to this upright corner. And we're then going to place 2 going up from here, so 1 and 2. Once you place this 2 on top, we're then going to place 1 going to the left. And then we're going to fly back into the right by 1, so back to this upright corner. And we're then going to place 1 on top of here. Once you place this 1 on top, we're then going to zoom out and fly back to the one that we just placed going to the left, so back to this one right here. And once you've flown back to here, we're then just going to place 1 black concrete going underneath from here. And there you go. Once you place this 1 underneath right here, we're then going to zoom out and fly back to the 1 black concrete that we just placed on top. So not the one down there, continuing on from the one that we just did right here. So continuing on from here. Once you have flown back to this 1 black concrete you place on top, we're then going to place another 7 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, just like so. Once you have placed this 7 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this 1 upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place 3 on top. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. And once you place this 3 on top, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place 4 on top this time. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. Once you place this 4 on top, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place another 2 on top. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place this 2 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place 1 on top of here, just like so. Once you place this 1 on top, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this 1 upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place another 1 on top of here. And there you go. Once you place one on top right here, we're then going to do 2 right diagonals. So 1 and 2, just like so. And once you've done the second right diagonal, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right, just like so. And then once he places 1 going to the right, we're then going to place 1 going underneath. And then once he places 1 going underneath right here, we're then going to fly back up by 1, so back up to this up right corner. And we're then going to place 1 on top. And there you go. Once he places 1 on top right here, we're then going to place 1 going to the left, just like so. Once he places 1 going to the left, we're then going to fly back into the right by 1, so back to this up right corner right here. And once we've flown back to this up right corner, we're then going to place 1 black concrete on top. And there we go. As you can see, we should be looking like this so far. Continuing on though, from the 1 black concrete we just placed on top right here, we're then going to do another up right diagonal from the end of here. And there you go. And once you've done this one up right diagonal right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going up from here. And there we go. Once he places 1 on top right here, we're then going to do 2 up right diagonals from here. So, 1 and 2, just like so. Once you've done the second up right diagonal right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete on top. And there we go. Once you place 1 on top right here, we're then going to do 2 up right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you've done the second up right diagonal right here, we're then going to place another 1 black concrete on top. And there you go. Once he places 1 on top right here, we're then going to do another right diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place another 1 on top, just like so. Once he places 1 on top right here, we're then going to do 2 of right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you've done the second up right diagonal, we're then going to place 1 black concrete on top. And then once he places 1 on top, we're then going to place 1 going to the left, just like so. Then once he places 1 going to the left, we're then going to fly back into the right by 1, so back to this up right corner. And once you've flown back to here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right. And there we go. Once you places 1 going to the right here, we're then going to do an up right diagonal from here, just like so. And then once you've done this up right diagonal, we're then going to place 1 on top. And there you go. And then once you places 1 on top right here, we're then going to do 6 up right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like so. And then once you've done the 6th up right diagonal right here, we're then going to place 2 black concrete going to the left from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place 2 going to the left, we're then going to fly back to the right by 2. So 1 and 2, so back to the 6th up right diagonal. And once you've flown back to the 6th up right diagonal right here, we're then going to do another 3 up right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. Once you've done this third up right diagonal, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right. And there we go. Once you place this 1 going to the right here, we're then going to do 3 up right diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you've done this third up right diagonal, we're then going to place another 1 black concrete going to the right. And there we go. Once you place this 1 going to the right, we're then going to do another 3 up right diagonals from here. So 1, and 2, and 3. And once you've done this third up right diagonal, we're then going to place another 1 black concrete going to the right from here. And there we go. Once you place this 1 going to the right, we're then going to do 1 up right diagonal from here. And then once you've done this, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right from here. And there we go. Once you place that 1 going to the right there, we're then done. And that is the very top of the build. So once we've done this, we're now going to zoom out and have a look at what we've done so far. So as you can see, we should be looking like this so far. Once we've done all of this, we're now going to fly all the way back down to the 1 black concrete that we placed on top over here. So as you can see, this one that's sticking up right here, we're going to be flying all the way back to this one sticking up. And there we go. Once you've flown to this 1 black concrete sticking up right here, we're then going to place another 1 on top of here. And there we go. Once you place this 1 on top, we're then going to do an up right diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this one upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place 6 black concrete going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, just like so. Once you place this 6 black concrete on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place 3 on top of here. So 1, 2 and 3, and there you go. Once you place this 3 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this one upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place another 3 black concrete on top. So 1, 2 and 3, and there you go. Once you place this 3 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, just like so. And then once you've done this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 4 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and there you go. Once you place this 4 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, and there we go. Once you've done this one upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place 3 going up from here. So 1, 2 and 3, and there you go. Once you place this 3 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, and there we go. And once you've done this, we're then going to place 2 on top this time. So 1 and 2, and there you go. Once you place this 2 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, and there we go. And then once you've done this upright diagonal, we're then going to place another 2 going up from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you've done this, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, just like so. And then once you've done this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 on top this time, and there we go. Once you place this 1 on top right here, we're then going to repeat this 2 here, 2 more times going up in a upright diagonal direction. So do an upright diagonal, place 1 on top, that's 1, another upright diagonal, and another 1 on top, and that's 2, and there you go. As you can see, that should be 3 of those 2s in total, going up in a upright diagonal direction. So 1, 2 and 3. If you got 3 of them, fly back towards the end 1. Once you've flown back towards the end 1, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, and there we go. Once you've done this one upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place 2 on top of here. So 1 and 2, and there you go. Once you place this 2 on top right here, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, just like so. And once you've done this upright diagonal, we're then going to place another 2 on top. So 1 and 2, and there we go. Once you place this 2 on top right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right from here. Once you place this 1 going to the right, we're then going to place 1 on top. And then once you place this 1 on top, we're going to fly underneath by 1, so back down to this bottom right corner. And once you've flown back to here, we're going to place 1 black concrete going to the right from here. And there we go. Once you place this 1 going to the right, we're then going to do an upright diagonal from here, just like so. And then once you've done this upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right, just like so. And then once you place this 1 to the right, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here, and there we go. Once you've done this 1 upright diagonal right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right from here. And as you can see, that 1 you place going to the right should connect to the left of the 1 black concrete sticking out to the left. And if it does, that means we've done everything correctly so far. So once we've done this, we're now going to zoom out, fly back to the left, and we're going to fly back to the 1 black concrete that's sticking up right here. Once you've flown back to this point right here, we're then going to do an up left diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this up left diagonal right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the left, just like so. Once you place this 1 going to the left, we're then going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this bottom left diagonal right here, we're then going to place 2 going to the left, so 1 and 2, just like so. And then once you place this 2 going to the left, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this bottom left diagonal right here, we're then going to place another 1 black concrete going to the left, just like so. And then once you place this 1 going to the left, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this 1 bottom left diagonal right here, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the left, just like so. Once you place this 1 going to the left, we're then going to place 1 on top. And then once you place this 1 on top, we're then going to fly underneath by 1, so back down to the bottom left corner, and we're then going to place 2 going to the left from here. So 1 and 2, and there we go. Once he places 2 going to the left, we're then going to zoom out and fly back to the one black concrete that's sticking up right here. And once you've flown back to this one sticking up right here, we're then going to place 1 going to the right from here. And there we go. Once you place 1 going to the right here, we're then going to do 3 right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you've done this third upright diagonal, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right. And there we go. Once you place 1 going to the right, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this one upright diagonal right here, we're then going to do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you've done the second up left diagonal, we're then going to place 3 black concrete going to the left. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you place this 3 black concrete going to the left right here, we're then going to do an up left diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place this 2 going to the left right here, we're then going to do another up left diagonal from here. Once you've done this up left diagonal right here, we're then going to place 2 black concrete going to the left. So 1 and 2. Once you place the second one going to the left, we're then going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to fly underneath by 1. So back down to the bottom left corner. And we're then going to place 1 going to the left from here. And there we go. Once you place 1 going to the left, we're then going to zoom out and fly back to the one sticking up right here. Once you've flown back to the 1 black concrete that's sticking up right here, we're then going to place 2 going to the right. So 1 and 2. And there you go. Once you place this 2 going to the right here, we're then going to do an upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this one upright diagonal, we're then going to place 2 going to the right. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place this 2 going to the right, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place another 2 going to the right from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place this 2 going to the right, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And then once you've done this, we're then going to place 1 going to the right, just like so. Once you place this 1 going to the right, we're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And then once you've done this, we're then going to place another 1 going to the right from here. And then once you place this 1 going to the right here, we're then going to place 1 going underneath. And there we go. Once you place this 1 black concrete going underneath, we're then going to fly back up by 1. So back up to this upright corner. And we're then going to do an upright diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this 1 upright diagonal, we're then going to zoom out and fly back to the 1 black concrete that we just placed going underneath right here. So back to here. And once you've flown back to this 1 black concrete you place going underneath right here, we're then going to place 11 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, just like so. Once you place 11 going to the right, we're then going to place 1 underneath. Once you place 1 going underneath, we're then going to fly back up by 1. So back up to this upright corner. And we're then going to place 1 going to the right from here. And there we go. Once you place 1 going to the right, we're then going to zoom out and fly back to the one that we just placed going underneath. So back to this one right here. And then once you've flown back to this one you placed going underneath right here, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this 1 bottom right diagonal right here, we're then going to place 2 going to the right. So 1 and 2, just like so. And once you place that 2 going to the right, as you can see, it should connect to the left of the 1 black concrete sticking out to the left right here. And if it does, that means you've done everything correctly so far. So we're going to zoom out. And time for the explainer in this area right here. So as you can see from this line right here to this line right here, black concrete is going to be filled all inside here. So it's going to go from this line here to here as well. And it's going to go down into that bottom left diagonal gap and into here as well. With that being said, continuing on with the rest of the build, we're going to fly back to this 1 right diagonal right here. So flying all the way back over towards here. And once you've flown to this 1 right diagonal right here, we're then going to do another right diagonal from here. And then once you've done this, we're then going to place 1 black concrete going to the right. And then we're going to fly back into the left by 1. So back to this 1 black concrete right here. And so we're then going to do another left diagonal from here. And there we go. Once you've done this up left diagonal right here, we're then going to place one black concrete on top, and then we're going to do two up left diagonals, so 1 and 2, just like so. Once you've done the second up left diagonal, we're then going to place one black concrete on top. Once you place this one on top right here, we're then going to place 17 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And there you go. Once you place this 17 going to the right, we're then going to place one going underneath from here. Once you place this one going underneath, we're then going to do a bottom left diagonal. And then once you've done this one bottom left diagonal right here, we're then going to fly back up in an up right diagonal direction by 1. So, back to the one black concrete that we placed going underneath here, where we did the bottom left diagonal from. Once again, my audio went corrupt at a certain part, so I'm just redoing and re-editing and re-recording this part. So, back to the one black concrete that we placed going underneath here, where we did the bottom left diagonal from. With our black concrete, we're going to place 2 going to the right from here. So, 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place that 2 going to the right there, we're then done with that area, so we're going to zoom out and fly back to the bottom left diagonal, so back to here. And once you've flown back to the bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place one black concrete going to the left from here. And there we go. Once you place this one going to the left right here, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And then once you've done this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 2 going to the left from here. So 1 and 2. And there you go. Once you place this 2 going to the left right here, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal. And there we go. Once you've done this, we're then going to place 3 going to the left this time. So 1, 2, and 3, and there you go. Once you place that 3 going to the left, we're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here, and we're then going to place 2 going to the left from here. So 1 and 2, and there you go. Once you've done this, as you can see, that 2 you place going to the left should connect to the right of this one black concrete, or I guess 2 sticking out to the right, as you can see right here, and if it does, that means you've done everything correctly so far, so we're going to zoom out. Which I'm just going to cut back to the previous, obviously, recording where it's not corrupt. So without further ado, let's cut over to that. So as you can see from this line right here to this line right here, it's going to be filled all inside here with our black concrete. So again, inside that gap right there is black concrete, and just inside this gap right here is going to be black concrete. Before we fill in that in though, we just want to fly to the very top of the build, and we want to fly to that 17 we placed going to the right, which is 18 in total, but we want to fly all the way to the end of here, and we just want to take out our gold block, and just to make sure we've done everything correctly with our gold block, we're going to place 13 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, and there you go. If that 13 you place going to the right there connects to the left of that 2 black concrete, that means you've done everything correctly so far. So without further ado, you can destroy those gold blocks. And I'm now just going to cut to this area here, and this area has been filled in right now. And there we go. So as you can see, we should have filled all of this in with black concrete right here. Again, you can pause the video and fill all of that in if you haven't filled that in yet. And as you can see, the top layer is looking like that as well. Without further ado though, once you have filled in those 2 areas, that is everything for today. So we're going to have a zoom out and see everything we've done so far. So that is all the left side to complete. So for our next part, we'll be going over to the right side and finishing the right side outline for the hair and part of the clothing. Just because again, the mask, as you can tell, well, is basically the majority of the actual face. And because of the way the mask works, it works in curls, and it's a bit weird if I started from there, because we wouldn't like connect to any of these points. All we would do is just go to the right, kind of like here, and then just circle it up, and then back kind of into the center around there. So that's why we're going to do the right and the left side, and then we just basically fill in with the mask, which I zoomed out really far, which I didn't mean to zoom out that far. Just try to get everything in frame. And there we go, there's everything in frame. So once again, that is everything for Toby for today. Once again, if you have enjoyed this build, make sure to go and hit that like button if you haven't already. Also, if you're new to the channel or you find yourself coming back often and you're not subscribed, make sure to go and do it. It's completely for free. It's much appreciated. And without further ado, that is everything from me today as well. And I will see you in the next one. So, peace out, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.